Today in the news, a tropical storm, Hanna, drenched South Texas amid the virus crisis, and a Texas court says a girl stays on life support pending a trial, and the Dallas City Hospital Capacity Report. Today is July 27th, 2020, and this is Dallas Weekly News. Hello, I'm your host Patrick Washington, and this is Dallas Weekly News. A Texas appeals court ruled Friday that a hospital must keep a 17-month-old girl on life support pending a trial addressing the merits of the law doctors invoked to withdraw life-sustaining treatment. The case has been making its way through the court since November 10th, when Cook Children's Medical Center had planned to remove Tinsley Lewis from life support after invoking Texas's so-called 10-day rule. The law can be employed when a family disagrees with doctors on withdrawing life-sustaining treatment. Doctors at the Fort Worth Hospital have said Tinsley is in pain and won't ever improve. But her mother, Trinity Lewis, has said she doesn't think her daughter is suffering and that any end-of-life decision should be hers to make. The law stipulates that if a hospital's ethics committee agrees with doctors, treatment can be withdrawn after 10 days, as long as a new provider can't be found to take the patient. Efforts to find another facility to take Tinsley have so far been unsuccessful. A lower court denied the mother's request for an injunction in January's second ruling. The following day, Texas's Second Court of Appeals granted her request to keep the child on life support until it could rule on the case. On Friday, the appeals court reversed the lower court's order denying the injunction and sent the case back to trial court. Texas Right to Life, an anti-abortion group that has been advocating for Tinsley, said in a statement that they pray the court strikes down the rule in the trial. The case became a rallying point for Republicans in Texas, and on Friday, State Attorney General Ken Paxton applauded the appeals court decision in a statement saying life is the first constitutionally protected interest, and the innocent baby girl must be afforded the rights she deserves. The hospital did not immediately comment on the ruling. Tinsley has been at Cook Children's since her premature birth on February 1st, 2019. The hospital has said she has a rare heart defect and suffers from chronic lung disease and severe chronic high blood pressure. The hospital has said she has been on a ventilator since going into respiratory arrest last July and requires full respiratory and cardiac support. At a December hearing, Dr. Jay Duncan, one of Tinsley's physicians, testified that the girl is in pain and that treatment was no longer benefiting her. In a January 2nd statement, the hospital said Tinsley must remain on a constant stream of painkillers, sedatives, paralytics, and just to keep her alive. A day after roaring ashore as a hurricane, Hanna lashed the Texas Gulf Coast on Sunday with high winds and drenching rains that destroyed boats, flooded streets, and knocked out power across the region already reeling from a surge in coronavirus cases. The National Hurricane Center downgraded it to a tropical storm. Hanna hovered over the U.S.-Mexico border in the morning with winds near 50 miles per hour. It was expected to unload as much as 18 inches of rain on parts of South Texas and northeastern Mexico. Shelters were opened in hotels, schools, and gyms. In Hidalgo County, Texas, a community building in the town of Mercedes, known as the Dome, was set aside for evacuees who had tested positive for COVID-19 or were exposed to the virus. The county instructed those who needed shelter to bring masks and hand sanitizer if they could. Coastal states scrambled this spring to adjust emergency hurricane plans to account for the virus, and Hanna was the first big test. Governor Greg Abbott said Saturday that some people in need of shelter would be given hotel rooms to keep them apart from others. The first hurricane of the 2020 Atlantic season blew ashore as a Category 1 storm late Saturday afternoon, with winds of 90 miles per hour not far from Port Mansfield, which is about 130 miles south of Corpus Christi. Parts of South Texas have gotten at least 9 inches of rain, including Cameron County, which includes Brownsville. More than 180,000 customers were without power Sunday morning throughout South Texas, including Corpus Christi, Harlingen, and Brownsville, according to AEP Texas. Corpus Christi and Nueces County, where health officials made headlines when they revealed that 60 babies tested positive for COVID-19 from July 1st to July 16th. Farther south in Cameron County, more than 300 new cases have been reported almost daily for the past 2 weeks. The past week has also been county's deadliest of the pandemic. Hanna came nearly 3 years after Hurricane Harvey blew ashore northeast of Corpus Christi. Hanna was not expected to be as destructive as Harvey, which killed 68 people and caused an estimated $125 billion in damages in Texas. And now the City of Dallas's hospital capacity report. This has been Dallas Weekly News. I'm your host, Patrick Washington. You can find these and more stories on dallasweekly.com. And of course, follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you can, please stay home, stay safe, and we will see you again tomorrow.